sweat like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Soccer season rolls on here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. This is Tyler Levine, host of First Touch, the premier weekly global soccer show across the entire Sports Byline broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our picks of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch on Sports Byline USA, Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busywork. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
It was the Roman poet Virgil who said, "Easy is the descent to hell. All night long, all day, the doors of dark Hades stand open. But to retrace the path, to come out again to the sweet air of heaven, there is the task, there is the burden. If I cannot move heaven, I will raise hell." We'll talk about that later, but now it's time for Rick Tittle and Titillating Sports on Sports Byline USA. All right, thank you so much, and welcome back. I've never been here before. Well, whatever. It's nice to have you with us. So I'm getting my levels adjusted here. Thursday edition of Titillating Sports. Rick Tittle with you. That's me, downtown San Francisco, home studios of Sports Byline USA Broadcast Network. That started it all. Sliced bread, the internet with Al Gore, all that stuff. Let's get in and get together at 1-800-878-PLAY, 1-800-878-3746. Once again, 1-800-87-8-PLAY. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, golf, tennis, auto racing, boxing, Olympics, quidditch, rollerball, chess, checkers, rugby, cricket. How about paddle? That's another new sport. We'll have the CEO, Emiliano Abramzon, at 9:25 Pacific. We're going to start things off, though, on the other side of the break with live from Milano Cortina, Olympian Kelsey O'Driscoll, a skier. She will join us. At 9:40, busy first hour, we'll go with Ollie Palmer, not the footballer, Ollie Palmer of the band Patience Please for their new single. 10:12 Pacific, director James Jones will join me for his HBO film entitled Fukushima, a Nuclear Nightmare. And then we'll get into the nightmare of open lines after that. It'll be free and clear. J.D. Sharp perhaps in the third hour, but we'll hear from you. We're also on the TuneIn app and iHeartRadio app and Stitcher apps. If you want to see me on video, I'm so hot, go to twitch.tv or YouTube and streaming along there as well. And a big shout out to our troops listening both home and abroad on American Forces Radio Network. All of you in military, especially in times like these, please stay safe. Come home soon. We're proud of you. All right, come on back. Let's do it.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one way Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of. Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Do you want to add a boost to your sex life this weekend? Do you want to make your partner and yourself happy? Then call our special hotline now. We'll sell you those little pills that work below the belt for less than $1 a pill and deliver your package in a few days, just in time for the weekend. Our pill delivers almost the same results as expensive pills for less than $1 a piece, and you don't need a prescription. And ask about their buy 3 get 3 free offer. What are you waiting for? Boost your sex life and have a great time now. Less than $1 a pill, discreet delivery in a few days, and a buy 3 get 3 free offer? Dial this number and save it now.
800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. That's 800-245-2751. Paid for by the Pharmacy Shop.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money, and you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, and you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures.
Everything and then some.
Went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus.
One money pit with a side of fries.
But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print order.
$125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app by 4/4 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome. He's a genius.
The You're now listening to the Rick Tittle Show. Good for you.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're so happy now to be joined live from Cortina, Milano in Italy at the Paralympic Games, the pride of the United States, and that is alpine skier Kelsey O'Driscoll. And it's been a whirlwind for her, making her first team, getting out to Sun Valley in Idaho, training, and now in Italy and competing in all 5 para-alpine skiing events, the downhill, Super G, alpine combined, giant slalom, and slalom. Kelsey, when you look down and you see like the Ralph Lauren outfit and the American flag and you know that you're one of our best, do you just kind of pinch yourself sometimes?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that in the last week or two. It's been pretty crazy.
So this isn't your physical challenge isn't something you were born with. This actually just happened a couple years ago in a snow accident, right?
Yeah, it was 5 years ago on the day of the opening ceremony.
Wow. So you were coming down on a sled and you injured your spine at that moment. Probably didn't think you were going to be an Olympian. It's crazy how things work out. What was that like to fight through all that heartbreak and you know, the why me and disappointment to be such a champion on the other side of it?
Yeah, I think for a while I was just really angry with myself because I had that thought at the top of the hill, like maybe I shouldn't do this one last run, and I did it anyway. And so I had to forgive myself first. But a lot of that has to do with the community of adaptive athletes I've met since I broke my back, and they have been incredibly helpful in just kind of showing me the way forward just by living their own lives. And like, I can troubleshoot things with them that you can't troubleshoot with other people. And they kind of encouraged me to just keep dreaming. And there wasn't anything I couldn't do on skis if I set my mind to it. And I learned that from my Northeast ski crew.
And when you ski, instead of ski, you do have ski poles, you have sticks, but instead of having spikes, they also have their own little ski on them, right?
Yeah, so it's less like a ski pole and more like a forearm crutch with a little ski at the bottom.
Right. So for you, I would think, you know, a Jersey kid, you wouldn't have been a big skier. I think more like, you know, Tahoe, Colorado, stuff like that. So your family was just way into it?
Yeah, so my grandparents skied a ton with my mom and her siblings all growing up. And so my mom and my uncle kind of shared that love of skiing with us. And I fell in love with it from day one when I was in little tiny boots and newspaper in the front of them in my parents' backyard. And we do have a little hill. We have a good little mountain called Mountain Creek in North Jersey. And I started there. And when I was about 5, we started skiing up at Gore in upstate New York, and I live there now.
Yeah, you're on the ski patrol, and you're a nurse too, right?
Correct.
So isn't it weird how you think, well, geez, I'm representing my country. Well, everybody wants to glom on. It's like, you know, for me, Alyssa Liu's from my hometown of Richmond, California, and so, like, I'm glomming onto that. And now people at your hospital, the whole SUNY system, we're all embracing you, and that's got to be a big responsibility, but it's also got to be way cool too.
Yeah, it feels less like a responsibility and more like an honor. I mean, I'm just so proud to represent the people that have helped make this journey possible, and it's just been so cool to just get to show what someone from our community can do.
I think one of the coolest things about the Paralympics is that, you know, athletes at the regular Olympics, they can kind of, you know, if you're a sprinter or you're a, you know, whatever, a downhill skier, a bobsled person, you kind of have had the same experiences, training, it's the same discipline, you're physically kind of the same. But at the Paralympics, people have all sorts of different challenges that they've had to come through and different injuries. What are some of the things that you've learned from your teammates with USA and then maybe just in the Olympic Village as well?
Yeah, it's been really cool to see I've got a couple teammates that have either only have one hand or only have one hand that works. And watching them get through the world has been really, really cool and was super helpful when I had to have 2 shoulder surgeries this summer. I had some good people to ask questions to, and I was like, how do you put on a zipper? How do you get a zipper to zipper with only one hand? And so that's been really fun and useful. And then just there's like a bunch of people in wheelchairs and there's people that walk with crutches, and it's been interesting to learn about the different grips, different brands of crutches. And so I've definitely figured a lot of stuff out through the U.S. team, which has been awesome. And then when we talk about like the circuit as a whole, it's just really cool to see the different people with disabilities skiing at this elite level. I mean, so we get a taste of it in kind of the U.S. circuit, but on this global circuit, it's so fun to watch. Like, I'm just in awe of my competitors on a regular basis.
Now, I know that you are competing in 5 events, but I also know you like the big stuff, the downhill, the Super G. And I'll never forget when I was in college, I'm kind of old, Bill Johnson at the Sarajevo Olympics, and just what a kamikaze that guy was coming down the hill. And then I realized that you downhill skiers are a different breed. I mean, I feel like I like to go fast when I ski, and I'm doing 2 miles per hour compared to what you do. I mean, we've seen what Michaela Schiffer, and we saw what happened with Lindsay. I mean, it's a dangerous sport. But what about that thrill? I mean, is it almost like an out-of-body adrenaline rush for you?
I mean, it's definitely an adrenaline rush, but I think for me, I just when I click into skis, I kind of forget that I'm disabled, forget the fact that my legs don't work because I can just compensate so well with the outriggers, and the boots keep me upright, which is great. And so I just love being able to go fast because I can't do that on my own 2 feet, but I can do it with skis.
And then just a couple more things. For the people who say, I could never do what you do, and then you're like, I thought the same thing. What about people who, the inspiration that you're giving to people?
Yeah, I mean, if all I get out of this is that some little girl somewhere is just like, I could go ski race if I wanted to, or I could be a nurse, or I could be a ski patroller. I mean, that's the impact I want to leave behind. It has nothing to do with the results. I just want to show that you can be a woman, you can be a disabled woman, and you can do incredibly hard things like work in healthcare and ski 60 miles an hour on legs you can't feel. And I mean, it's just been so fun to do. And hopefully there's some little girl somewhere that thinks maybe I could do it too.
And then finally, your work as a pediatric nurse. I mean, on the one hand, it's rewarding beyond belief, and you see the smiles on the kids, but it's also hugely challenging because there's some really sad stuff that you don't want to take home with you, and you have to fight through that. And so do you think your training kind of as a pediatric nurse kind of helped you face the challenges on the hill? Do those coincide at all?
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, people have asked me, they're like, how do you just not get so stressed out and whatnot? I'm like, well, this isn't really as stressful as holding someone's child's life in your hands. Like, that is the most stress anyone can experience, I think. And so, this is just fun. It's just, I mean, do I want to win? Yeah, but winning isn't everything. And so I'm just so happy I got to do it. And I'm so grateful for all the lessons I've learned in nursing that have proved themselves helpful.
That's Kelsey O'Driscoll competing in 5 events at the Paralympics in Milano Cortina. And Kelsey, best of luck. Thank you for representing us so well. And let's catch up down the road.
Thank you. Yeah, we definitely should.
All right, good stuff. We'll take a quake. We'll take a quake. I don't want a quake in San Francisco. How about a quick break? Come on back.
Are you over the
age of 50, want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams. Your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. That's 800-399-6879.
Sometimes life changes, and the house you once loved becomes a burden. Too many repairs, too many memories, too much to handle on your own. If you'd like to sell your home fast, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline. We can help you sell your home as is. No cleaning, no showings, and there are absolutely no hidden fees or real estate commissions. We'll pay you a fair price for your home in cash. Whether you're downsizing, handling an estate, or just ready for peace of mind, call us. We'll help you walk away from your problem property in no time at all and get you the cash in your bank account with little hassles. If you'd like to sell your home fast, as is, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline.
Call Want to Sell Your Home now for a free quote to sell your home in any condition. Call 800-950-3143. 800-950-3143. That's 800-950-3143.
Okay, let's have a little fun. Do you use the expensive blue pill to perform better? Are you thinking about it? So what if we can promise you results for less than $1 a pill? Okay, so these same pills can cost you $30 or more at a pharmacy. And our Better Blue Pill works for less than $1 a pill. You'll save $29 or more per pill. And right now, we'll give you 120 blue pills for just $99. Have a little fun and call right now. Get 120 of our Better Blue Pills for just $99. Don't overpay for the other blue pills. Call Steel Man Pills right now and get the Better Blue Pill for less than $1 a pill. Call 1-800-BUY-BLUE, 1-800-BUY-BLUE. It's easy to remember. 1-800-BUY-BLUE. That's 1-800-BUYBLUE. And thanks for calling.
What would you say you do here?
Well, look, I already told you. I deal with the customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people?
Rick Tittle will fight anyone listening to this.
All right, thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. Well, a very fast-growing sport that is not brand new. It has origins going back to the 60s in Acapulco. It's called padel, or maybe we say paddle. Let's check in with Emiliano Abramzon, who is the founder and CEO of Racket X. Emiliano, welcome to the show. Do we say paddle or padel?
Yeah, great question. Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, it's an interesting question. Outside of the U.S., everybody calls it paddle. For some reason, in the U.S., a lot of people call them padel. But any probably foreign-based people would call it paddle. I would call it paddle, as the rest of the world calls it.
So let's talk about it. It is obviously a racket sport. The rackets have no strings. They are solid and perforated. you can play off the walls, similar to racquetball or squash, but the serve must be below the waist. So tell us what those courts look like. And, you want to play it outdoors, but you need to be able to play it off the wall. So how does it work?
Yeah, exactly. It's a great combination between tennis and pickleball and racquetball and squash all together. Courts are smaller. It's probably 1/3 of a tennis court. And preferable you play indoors, but you can also play outdoors, no problem. In terms of complexity, I would put it in the middle between pickleball and tennis. It's much easier to learn and to play than tennis is, and a little more athletic and complex than pickleball. It's a lot of fun. It's a social sport. You play doubles all the time. There is no singles. And it's the fastest growing sport in the world.
What about the ball? Does it bounce, or is it like because I grew up playing tennis, and I love tennis, but when I played pickleball, I got frustrated by the fact that the wiffle ball would barely bounce.
Yeah. No, so you play with like tennis balls. It's like very, very similar to tennis balls. You can definitely play with tennis balls. The paddle balls has a different pressure, but if you play with tennis ball and you're a beginner, you probably won't notice the difference. So tennis balls will be fine.
So with the rise of pickleball in America during the pandemic, and I know a lot of tennis clubs, they switched all their courts out, making pickleball courts. Is that something where you say, hey, any racquetball sport is good for all of us? Or did pickleball kind of, quote unquote, ruin things for a while because it got too big?
I'm of the opinion that any racket sport is good.
Mm-hmm.
That make people play, socialize, be active. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And the more people come to racket sports, the better. And the more variations and combinations and different things we have to offer, the better. I think the barriers of entry for pickleball are extremely low, and that brought a lot of people to the sport. It is complicated to be a beginner in tennis. It's tough to master tennis if you start as an adult. And pickleball gave an opportunity to a lot of people to socialize and be active. And I think that's a very good thing. And paddle shares similar characteristics. It's a lot easier to learn than tennis is, but it's more demanding on the athletic side and the skills than pickleball is. So it's a perfect combination between easy to learn and how complex it could become once you become very good at it. So you never stop learning. There's a lot of strategy. There's a lot of tactics, and there's a lot of cardio. So I think it's here to stay. I was also grew up playing tennis, and I now addicted to paddle.
So tell us a little bit about Racket X. I know it's going to be starting this weekend in the land of flowers, Florida. Tell us more, please.
Yeah, so let me rewind one sec. We are a holding group that is called Racket 360. We own and operate 4 companies. One of those companies is Racket X, which is a trade show convention center for everybody in the racket sports industry. It's where all people doing business in racket sports get together for a few days and talk about industry trends. They trade, they talk about best practices. We look at innovations, we look at new technologies, we look at all the vendors. There was nothing like this for the racket sport industry in the U.S. And most of the other industries have their convention where a lot of people from the industry get together and discuss and trade and share best practices. So that's what we're doing. This is the 3rd year we are doing Racket X. We've been growing a lot. We have hundreds of exhibitors, sponsors, all major racket sports brands, thousands of attendees, a lot of seminars and training sessions, from managing a club to teaching, coaching, anything around racket sports you'll find in RacketX.
So, Olympic sport, how are we on? I know it takes a long time. You kind of have to be like an exhibition sport. Is there a plan for that?
Yeah. There are a lot of people in the paddle industry working towards making paddle an Olympic sport. It takes a long period of time, but I think the work has already started and had made a lot of progress. I'm not involved in that, but I know people are.
So, I know it's big, as I mentioned, in Mexico and in Europe as well. But I thought it was interesting that the U.S. Paddle Association got started in Chattanooga. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was organic. It changed a lot since the beginning, and it doesn't matter where it started. Now it evolved and it has a very, very professional management team, board of directors that are doing things extremely well. And so I'm very confident that paddle is going to grow in the U.S. I'm not affiliated. I'm not part of the board of directors of the USPA, but I know them well, and I know they're doing an extraordinary job.
And I guess just like in tennis, where we had to learn the scoring system, 15 love, deuce, add in, whatever, we have to now learn bandeja, vibora, bajada, chiquita, salida, cadete. We have to learn these, right?
Yes. It's interesting. Yeah, it's part of the because though by far the two countries where paddle has penetrated the most and has been maturing for the longest time is Spain and Argentina. So yeah, it's natural that most of those words are Spanish. But yeah, Europe, it's growing crazy. Asia, Middle East, everywhere paddle is growing. So in a few years, we're going to see a lot of momentum in the rest of the world, and it will be interesting. The top 20 players in the world today are either from Spain or Argentina. In a decade, they would probably be from any other country, because there's a lot of people playing in tons of countries.
All right, that's the RacketX founder, Emiliano Abramzon. Emiliano, is there a website or anywhere you'd like us to take a look online?
Yeah, it's theracketex.com. That's the trade show website. And our holding company is Racket 360 with CQ, racket360.com.
All right, Emiliano, thanks for your time, man. We'll see you out on the courts.
Yeah, thank you for your time, too.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff. My little brother, used to belong to the Elks Club here at Union Square. It's in the Kensington Park Hotel, and they had racquetball courts. Racquetball is hella fun, and you can get a sweat lathered up. I just think it's interesting with paddle. On the one hand, it's cool. You've got basically the pickleball paddles, but a ball that will actually bounce. Like I said, that's what kills me about pickleball. Not just that the loud sound, but you go in to hit the ball, and it's a wiffle ball, and it bounces 1 inch. But I would think you're going to be skying balls all over the place if there's no roof. Well, we'll see. All right, let's take a quick break, and we will go to London next and talk a little rock and roll.
With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The CareWatch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. The CareWatch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. Call us to get your CareWatch right now.
800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. 800-853-8931. That's 800-853-8931.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. That's 800-913-9739.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total recoveries for his clients. And now with sportsbettingclaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted in the recovery of billions for individuals who lost their properties to fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
All right, thank you for that. That little toe tapper there is a brand new song entitled Miles Away from the band Patience Please. Rick Tittle back with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network, 500 outlets, 177 countries. Let's go to one of those countries right now. Let's go to the UK because joining us from Patience Please is Ollie Palmer. And Ollie, not the footballer, the singer, right?
Yeah, that's great. I don't play. Never had a run out at Wrexham yet. It could be on the cards. You never know.
I think he's moved on to like Bristol City now. But yes, a long career in the lower divisions, strapping striker.
That's the dream, isn't it?
So I've spent a lot of time in London, and I stayed in Chiswick and the West End, so to speak. Are you guys are you in Chiswick too?
Well, I'm near Chiswick. Yeah. So we're kind of based all around London, but. We come together and we practice in West because I book the studios to practice in, so I get to choose. So.
Right. So where are you from actually, Ollie?
So I'm from West London as well, like Hammersmith, Fulham, and then Tilly and Tommy and Arthur, the rest of the gang, they're scattered around south and north. But we actually grew up all outside of London in the countryside. So we all moved to London to chase a dream, I guess.
Were you in the Cotswolds? Were you posh?
I'm in a place called Hampshire.
Oh, yes.
Do you know Jane Austen?
Yes. Well, I've spent time in Fleet and then as far down as Southampton in Hampshire. So
I grew up in the same village as Jane Austen. So one's
nice.
a better writer than the other, but I'll let you decide.
Yes. Well, yes, we won't have too much Pride or Prejudice in this interview. For you though, were you a cottager? Did you go to Craven Cottage, or what was your football team?
No, so I'm actually a season ticket holder at Chelsea. So
okay.
I'm there. Yeah, so we just got thumped by PSG last night, so I'm hoping for a bit more luck in the return fixture at Stamford Bridge.
Well, I've been to Stamford Bridge, and of course you get off at Fulham Broadway there on the tube. But I will say, as an American, I am embarrassed by Todd Bowley. That guy is insane.
Well, to be fair, when he first rocked up, I was thinking, because English people sort of have a bit of prejudice about Americans getting involved in football. But I mean, to be fair, I'm in the camp of let's trust the process. So I love the team we got right now. I think a new centre back and a new keeper, and then I think we'll win the Champions League. So I think we're nearly there.
Do you think Carson Palmer will be on the plane to the World Cup?
Cole Palmer.
Sorry, Cole Palmer. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, as long as he doesn't get injured, I think so. But then, selfishly, I mean, it's one of these. When it's during the season, it's all about Chelsea. But then you sort of turn your nose up at the international breaks because you don't want your best players getting injured. But
right.
I hope so. I mean, he scored in the Euro final a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
so
last minute
goal. They're playing more.
Yeah,
exactly. The more they play, the more we'll win. That's what I think. Anyway.
When you're on stage, do you do the shivering goal celebration?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. I'll look over my mates and they're always sat in the corner doing it. So.
Just one more question about football, soccer. What about your bandmates? Do any of them hate the Blues, or do you guys ever get into banter?
Oh no. Well, to be fair, Tommy the drummer, he's also a Chelsea fan. Arthur. He'll basically support any. He's not a massive football fan, but on the basis that he'll support anyone Chelsea are playing. I think that tells you what we need to know about him. And Tilly, I'm working on it, but she's West London as well, so it makes sense for her to support Chelsea. So.
Well, I'm almost 40 years in on Tottenham, and we're not.
Oh God, the longest 40 years of your life.
We're circling the drain right now, and it's not fun times.
Well, you might be with Wrexham next year.
Yeah, I can't wait to go away to Stevenage. That's going to be fun. And the London Derby with QPR, I'll see you at Loftus Road. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's literally up the road from me. So.
Yeah, I've been there as well too. White City, it's like the Beeb at Shepherd's Bush and all that.
Yeah. Just behind White City, where the BBC is or was.
All right, as I'm throwing out this London knowledge. All right, let's talk about Patience, please, because when I was listening to that song, that sounded like there were, I don't know, 6 or 7 people. You guys are only 4. You guys really get a lot out of your members, don't you?
Yeah. No, I mean, we sort of, when we came together, we want to make guitar music. So, I think the whole concept is just turning everything up as loud as possible, and then seeing what happens is kind of where everything started. So, yeah, I mean, on the basis we're influenced by Stereophonics, Oasis, Coldplay, Radiohead, The Stones, Zeppelin as well. And even bands like Busted as well. It's more just a case of, well, for us anyway, throw a lot at the wall and see what sticks, and then it just means that when we're playing it live, it requires a lot of energy and concentration. So there's a lot to do.
Yeah, I'm interested to lead singers because sometimes lead singers will have an affectation or maybe a different singing style. Are you exactly the same person on and off stage, or do you kind of take on a new persona as a singer?
To be honest, I don't think so. I'm an actor as well, so I've been trained to do film, TV as well, straight plays and stuff, but also musical theatre. So my sort of choosing what voice to sing in over the past 10 years has always changed. But now I feel like this is my most natural, sort of like quite rocky pop vibe, which is I find pretty, because I write most of the songs as well, so it means when it sort of flows quite naturally. I've never had to really think about how I'm going to sing it. I can just sort of go purely on instinct, you know what I mean? And then yeah, so it kind of goes from there. And then, you know, everyone has their space in the song to do what they want, and then we go to the studio and record it.
I was looking at some of the venues you've been to, the Troubadour, Star of Shoreditch, Dingwalls too in Camden. I haven't heard of that. Have you ever played Cork's Wine Bar?
No, not yet. Well, I'll definitely take a look. But we're playing a gig tomorrow actually in King's Cross at the Star of Kings.
Oh wow! By St. Pancras train station.
That's it. That's the one.
So the King's Cross is actually supposedly where they put the cross in 1121 or something. I don't think it's still there, Ollie.
No, I don't know. I think you might have out-trivia'd me there. So I'll have a look tomorrow. I'll let you know.
So what is the goal right now is just day by day? I mean, you know, as I said, this new song, Miles Away, we can get it through the clear blue sky, you know, with iTunes or Spotify, what have you. And so you don't need to press a vinyl album or even make a CD anymore. So is it kind of, you know, release singles one by one and then start touring more, opening for bigger bands, and then headlining, getting to the USA, getting to Asia, Europe? What's the plan?
So I think the plan is forever evolving. The dream is to play stadiums around the world. We want to play to as many people as many times as possible. So, but the next 12-month roadmap is we're actually almost finishing recording our next EP. So we've still got lots of music in the pipeline. But for the summer, it's basically just gig, and just try and, you know, really hone the craft of, you know, playing live, because, you know, we've played a fair bit in London, but, you know, it's getting, because it's, you know, it's winning in someone else's backyard is what is sort of the plan next, because, you know, we're very fortunate that lots of our friends and, you know, a few other people come to our gigs, and so yeah, you know, just going around to places where it's not a guaranteed hit, you know what I mean?
Not a bringer, yeah. Well, I think you could pop over to the continent, right?
Yeah, that's honestly, we would happily play everywhere, because it's quite weird. You know, on Spotify artists, you can see which countries are really, really enjoying certain songs. Like, it's quite nice. Like, that is the best thing about this, you know, the age of streaming and stuff, is we can see that we got loads of listeners in like Brazil, America, Taiwan, Australia. You know what I mean? So it's really, so yeah, you know, it really does whet the appetite to then, you know, get on a plane and play to someone. Just hope people rock up.
Well, we've got obviously we've got a big music scene out here in California and San Francisco and Los Angeles. Maybe get that on the docket.
100%. You know, Coachella, is it Stagecoach as well? I don't know if we're country enough for Stagecoach, but
yeah, well, just put on a cowboy hat and then nobody will notice.
Yeah, sweet. I've been trying to find a reason to buy the boots anyway. So,
so the name. Just a couple more questions here. The name Patience Please, was that always the name, or what was almost the name of your band?
To be fair, that name was, I think, that name was kind of decided about half an hour after the group chat was made. So it's kind of stuck. Mainly, it started off. It stuck mainly because no one could think of anything else better. And then yeah, it got to the stage where, you know, we told enough people and that we were in a band and that we were called Patience Please. And then before you know it, everyone's like, oh, well, hello, Patience Please. And we're like, all right, well, can't change it now. So it didn't really have a choice. I feel like we could have been stuck with far worse names.
Well, I mean, it's like General Public said, we just saw a sign that said General Public with an arrow. I know that Green Day, they were called Young Children, then they changed to Green Day, and Billy Joe Armstrong said it's the stupidest name of all time, but it's too late. We're stuck with it.
Yeah. Well, ours is from a picture of Keith Richards. Actually, I think there's a picture of when he arrives in America. There's like a sign saying, "Welcome to drug-free America. Patience, please." So,
and he's still rocking.
Still going. I don't know how, but he is.
He looked 80 in 1975, but he's still gone.
Yeah, I think he's the personification of rock star, in my opinion.
Oh, no doubt about it. And Mick, yeah, those two. All right,
Yeah,
everyone, the band is called Patience Please. The song is called Miles Away. It is out now. And so, Ollie, we've been speaking with Ollie Palmer, no relation to Cole. Where do we go to find it? Just search for the band and the name. It's that easy?
Yeah, search. We're on Instagram, Patience Please 99, and then on all streaming platforms, Patience Please. And yeah, you should hopefully find us. We got six tracks out at the moment, and then lots more music coming this year.
Well, Ollie, when you come to San Francisco, bring the band in the studio, man. We'd love to see you.
We will. Thank you so much.
All right, good stuff. Cheers. I'm Rick Tittle. We'll take a quick break. We will get on back on Sports Byline.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams. Your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. That's 800-399-6879.
I've got a question for you. Do you want a lower car payment just by making a phone call? You know, most people buy a car and they pay whatever the car dealer says their interest rate is, and they forget about it and make payments. But did you know there is a secret in your contract that allows another company to refinance any car payment to try and lower it? It's true. There is indeed a company out there that knows the ins and, more importantly, the outs on car loans, and they know how to lower your current car payments. It's easy and fast, and you could have a lower car payment next month. Make this free call right now and find out if you could lower your existing car payment. Call the Car Savings Hotline right now. The call is free.
Call now. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. That's 800-605-1680. Do you have a book? Get it out of your mind and make it a real book with a free guide to book publishing. Trying to publish a book yourself can be complicated. It takes a lot of time. Time that you could spend writing your book or even more books. Do what you do best. We can do the rest. Thousands of authors across the nation have trusted our book publishing service. We have the connections to help you get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores nationwide. We can do it faster than you can on your own. Get your free guide to publishing. It's a free phone call. Remember, make this free call right now and learn how to turn your book into something real that people can buy. Get your free writer's guide. Call right now. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. That's 800-482-8399.
Come again? You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Tittle beats his servants.
Thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. By the way, so I don't really follow the news because it's so lame. Like when Kristi Noem was fired, I didn't know who that was. I literally didn't. I had to Google her. Rick, you got to get more informed. Maybe. So what I do is, I have a point to this. When I want to look at news, I'll look at Sky or BBC. They care more about American news than we do, I think. But, just updates from this war that we're in now and whatever. So I'll look at Sky or BBC. And I think I found my favorite headline from the BBC in many years, because it's a true story. And then I wanted to know why. And just as an aside, here, Chinese national arrested for attempt to smuggle 2,000 queen ants from Kenya. And I thought, okay, well, these ants are contraband. They're being smuggled. It's in test tubes and toilet paper rolls. And I thought there must be some sort of biotech, agricultural sort of significance to these ants. No. This is the next line here. Last year, the Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, warned of a growing demand for garden ants, scientifically known as Mesor cephalotes, in Europe and Asia, where collectors keep them as pets. Pet ants. Pet. Now, then again, you might say, well, in America, you have ant farms. Yeah, I mean, that's torturous and cruel, but that's mostly just to see the tunnels they dig. And by the way, they never dig the tunnels. And when they mail you the tube of ants, all the ants are dead. Trust me, this happened several times in my house growing up. Anyway, pet ants. We have grown. Nero is blushing at our leisure. Come on back for 2 more hours on Sports Byline.
Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning. The Wild West portion of the National Football League's offseason has arrived with the opening of free agency. The Las Vegas Raiders have made the biggest splash so far, making center Tyler Linderbaum the highest paid interior lineman in NFL history and taking on several defensive players, including Max Crosby, who they expected to ship to Baltimore for draft picks, but a failed physical on Tuesday voided that deal. Super Bowl champion Seattle has begun the ritual of losing players as back Kenneth Walker heads to Kansas City, corner Reek Woolen signed with Philadelphia, and safety Kobe Bryant exits to Chicago. Tight end Isaiah Likely adds to the options for Giants quarterback Jackson Dart, who leads what could be a dangerous offense when fully healthy. The other team in New York, the Jets, have reunited with their 2013 first-round pick quarterback Geno Smith. Running back Tyler Algier moved from Bijan Robinson's shadow in Atlanta and signed with Arizona. With little cap room or better options available, the Falcons signed former Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, while the Dolphins moved on to Green Bay Packers quarterback Malik Willis. Future Hall of Fame wide receiver Mike Evans is leaving Tampa Bay after 12 years to go to San Francisco and try to secure his second Super Bowl ring. While Travis Kelsey announced he's coming back with the Chiefs, the fates of Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, and other high-profile players are yet to be determined. After overinflating the combine to making the draft a 3-day destination event, and setting its hot stove period to a nuclear setting, the NFL has the opportunity to make headlines 365 days a year. And if it's not already, it's probably something that should be studied by university business and marketing students. And this year's madness has just begun. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-Minute Warning.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today.
Soccer season rolls on here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. This is Tyler Levine, host of First Touch, the premier weekly global soccer show across the entire Sports Byline broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our picks of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch on Sports Byline USA, Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at BevMo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busywork. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. You might have heard Ollie Palmer of Patience Please mention that Chelsea got beat pretty bad by Paris Saint-Germain in Paris yesterday, the first leg of their Champions League round of 16. That's one thing. But Pedro Neto of Chelsea pushed a ball boy over. They were losing. The ball boy picked up the ball. He looked like he was about 13 or 14, skinny kid. And he was kind of holding the ball. He wasn't like keeping it. He just was kind of holding it. And Neto was like, give me the ball. And he gave him not a huge shove, but enough of a shove to knock him off balance. And then he kind of flipped over a chair and he laid on the ground like he was hurt. And then that caused a big hubbub. And those ball boys are usually academy kids. Like, if you go through the years, you can see Pep Guardiola handing the ball to Gary Lineker at Barcelona when he was one. You can see Glenn Hoddle at Tottenham handing the ball to Danny Blanchflower because, these are kids from the academy that are the ball boys. Anyway, the PSG players went over and hugged him, and the kid had his head down like he was crying. But Pedro Neto, after the game, said, I'm sorry, maybe 79 times. He goes, that can't happen. I'm so sorry. I gave him a little shove. He fell over. I'm really sorry. I just want to say I'm really sorry. I apologize to him, but once again, that's inexcusable. I never should have done that. I'm really sorry. I just want to say, well, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. And then he said, and one more time, I want to officially say that I'm really, really sorry. That's because he knows what was going to happen today. And what happened today is that UEFA has opened up a disciplinary investigation. Well, there's not too much to investigate, because we all saw it. I don't know what more there is to investigate, unless the ball boy said, I made a meal out of it and don't press charges. But look, that little shove is enough, and that ain't cool, as they say. I remember when Nick Lowry pushed over a Jets ball boy, and he was like, he was big, he was 16. It's like, you don't push over ball boys. Come on back.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Special alert for consumers struggling to pay taxes. There are new tax regulations, not published yet. We have the inside track on your new tax savings. These programs are designed to help struggling taxpayers like you. The COVID relief programs are gone, but there are new programs to help struggling taxpayers, and we have the inside track. Call now and we'll take you through these new programs. These taxpayer savings programs have never been available until now. Get out of tax trouble now. It doesn't take weeks. It can happen in one phone call. Call now and get the inside track to get rid of your tax problems.
Call the tax helpline now. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. 949-0039. That's 800-949-0039.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Hour 2 of titillating sports. You thought it couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Hour 2 of titillating sports.
Hey, check out Channel 9. Check out Rick Tittle.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. There's a very powerful documentary that's brand new, just came out a couple days ago, streaming on HBO, an HBO app. It's called Fukushima, A Nuclear Nightmare, 9 Days to Save a Nation. And this chronicles the near total meltdown of the Fukushima nuclear power plant some 15 years ago. And joining us on the phone right now is the director of the film, James Jones. James, welcome, and take us back to March 2011. A 9.0 earthquake got this all going in the wrong direction, didn't it?
That's right. Yeah, great to be talking to you. So the Japan suffered this enormous earthquake, and then within hours, a tsunami wave ripped through a large part of the country and ended up taking about 20,000 people's lives, which is an awful enough disaster for any country. But then that triggered a potentially even worse accident at the Fukushima nuclear plant, which was 5 times bigger than Chernobyl and threatened to, had it gone into complete meltdown, would have forced the evacuation of Tokyo, 3 million people. So our film chronicled the stories of the people who were inside the plant when tsunami hit and the meltdown started to happen, and really understood what they put on the line to try and prevent the worst case scenario.
It's an amazing scenario, too, when you think about Chernobyl. And, of course, back then in the Soviet Union, everyone was trying to cover their backsides, and people were scared to make the wrong call. And then there was a lot of denial. Everything's going to be fine. So the lessons that we learned in a communist country like that, and then you have a free country, Japan, decades later, what were some of the things that they learned from that? Or conversely, some of the same mistakes they made?
Yeah, I mean, that was fascinating to me. I did a doc also for HBO 3 or 4 years ago about the Chernobyl accident, and the lies and the cover up, and then the kind of political reaction to that. I'd never expected anything like that with this. I like many people had heard of Fukushima. I didn't know any detail, partly because few of the people involved had ever told their stories. But I assumed, Japan is a very technologically advanced place. It's a sophisticated democracy. I never thought that it would kind of fall foul of the same sins of kind of hubris and complacency and, cover-ups. But, when you look into this disaster, sure, it was there's a kind of act of God, earthquake and tsunami, but, many people would say this was a man-made nuclear disaster. They were warned internally, the company that ran the plant, that a tsunami would overwhelm its seawall and would flood the generators in the power plant. And once you lose electricity in a nuclear power plant, you can no longer cool it down. And so then it risks overheating and melting down. And then, as we saw in this instance, the kind of gas can build up and cause explosions. So, I'm really shocked that a country like Japan would be guilty of this, but it was, it was complacency, and it was a kind of industry that, wasn't properly regulated. There were people who would, work for the companies and then go and work for the regulators, and it was kind of chummy relationship, and maybe just an overconfidence that they thought, we're the best technicians in the world, we're Japan, what could ever go wrong? And not being able to even envisage the worst case scenario. So unpicking all of that was quite shocking to me. We're not talking about Soviet levels of corruption, but there was something fundamentally flawed in this industry. And remember that Japan is a country that is the only country that has been attacked with a nuclear weapon. They had every reason to be paranoid and suspicious of this technology, and yet they allowed themselves to get into a situation where something that had been forewarned ended up coming into reality.
That is a great last point you made that I didn't even consider. Yes. Well, as we saw with Chernobyl, there were men who basically had a suicide mission, and not you're going to die in cancer in 3 to 5 years. Your skin's going to fall off in 10 minutes. I mean, what about those several people that had to go in and get their hands on this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting because these guys, they became known as the Fukushima 50. There were actually 69 of them, but they stuck around as the meltdown was happening to kind of try and manage the situation as best they could in incredibly radioactive surroundings. And when I first heard the name Fukushima 50, I kind of thought they were like kind of special forces or specially trained kind of action guys. And these were engineers. They go to work every day with their lunchbox. They don't expect to be put in this situation. And yet they showed extraordinary bravery to sacrifice themselves. They thought when they stuck around, that was it. They said goodbye to their families. They thought that this was going to be the end. And what is even more extraordinary is, in Japan, you're very closely tied to the company you work for. It's a kind of, often like a lifelong commitment. Because the company, which is called TEPCO, was so tarnished by everything that happened and having to, evacuate towns and villages in the surrounding area, these brave men were actually not treated as heroes, but saw themselves as villains, and so never told their story publicly. No one knew what they looked like. And so their kind of trauma of everything that they witnessed in those days was kind of compounded by this guilt and shame, which is, crazy, frankly. Like in the US or the UK, these guys would have been, on talk shows, on the front page of magazines, they would have been lauded. But they kind of saw themselves as like Vietnam vets, where they kind of thought they'd do something heroic, but then maybe wider society saw them as the opposite. So that was kind of fascinating to hear them tell the story publicly for the first time.
So, just a couple more questions. These men now, for what they did, was there any operator error at the time? As you said, they were overwhelmed by a tsunami. There's not much they could do. But were there any guys that pressed the wrong buttons or didn't press the button when they should have?
Yeah, it's different from Chernobyl, which was the kind of test that they pushed too far. Actually, with these guys, it was more the design. Like, they should never have had the generators below sea level. If they had, they should have all been waterproofed, and the seawall should have been higher. But once they lost electricity, it was very hard to avoid what happened. They did their best to kind of, they called it venting, where they had to go and manually turn a valve to like release some pressure to prevent an explosion, and they did what they could with their bare hands, but they actually didn't do anything wrong. They were just desperately trying to figure out ways to get water in to cool down the reactor, to release some pressure to prevent an explosion, but not too much, not release too much, because it's seriously radioactive. So they handled it pretty well. They just didn't have the tools to actually get on top of it until 9 days later, these kind of specialist firefighters came in from Tokyo, and using their specialist equipment managed to get water in. Because the thing you've got to remember is the country wasn't just dealing with this disaster. They were dealing with the earthquake, the tsunami, tens of thousands dead, the roads being completely ripped up. So like, even persuading firefighters to risk going near this plant was, a tough job. So for days, firefighters were driving and leaving the fire trucks like a 2-hour drive away from the plant, because they just didn't want to go anywhere near it. So, these guys were pretty much abandoned for quite a long time. So no, I would say they did everything they could.
Last question for you. You know, a lot of times, it's just human nature, unfortunately. Somebody will build something and it'll come down and say, well, don't do that again. Let us build the same thing again. So have we learned lessons about potential tsunamis? In other words, are there nuclear plants that are just sitting there by the coast waiting for another tsunami? This happen all over again?
Yeah, well, it's a kind of twist of irony, or whatever you want to call it, that a lot of nuclear plants are built on the coast because it's good to have a supply of water for the cooling. And that's true in the UK, it's true in the US. And so, you know, I would imagine lots of people paid attention to what happened at Fukushima, but these things are expensive, you know, and if they seem like vanishingly unlikely, companies aren't, you know, too overly keen to enact something where there's a fraction of a chance it will actually happen. The problem is, if it does happen, the consequences are just horrendous. So, you know, you would hope that nuclear plants around the world, and they are exactly the same. I mean, this was an American design. This was maintained by American engineers in part. You know, there are these same reactors in the US. So I guess Japan is more prone to earthquakes and tsunamis, but I think that is the problem with nuclear energy. It's, you know, something we arguably need, but just when it goes wrong, the consequences are so extreme.
It's called Fukushima Nuclear Nightmare, 9 Days to Save a Nation, an HBO original, and just came out a couple days ago. Check out the documentary on HBO. We've been speaking to the director, James Jones. James, this is like your specialty now. You got to finish the trilogy and do another nuclear. You do 3 Mile Island.
But thankfully, I'm running out of nuclear disasters. So
all right,
call it a day for now.
All right, cheers.
Thanks so much.
All right, good stuff. I'm Rick Tittle. Let's take a break, and we will get on back on Sports Byline.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money, and you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624. Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secret of fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
Just go ask your mama.
Okay, that's it.
your mama is in here.
Rick Tittle's got a black belt in keeping it real.
All right, thanks for that. We have open lines the rest of the way. More than half the show still to go. J.D. Sharp will not be with us today, so that means all the open lines are for you. Yells and your calls. Get in the queue. We'll talk to you. Wolfman Jack, rhyming stuff. 1-800-878-7529. Today in downtown Oakland, there is a celebration and parade for Alyssa Liu, which is great, but I saw yesterday she was at Paris Fashion Week. There was a picture of her there yesterday, and I thought, she's got to get to the airport by 3 o'clock, and she did. There was video of her last night landing. I mean, what a whirlwind that she's doing right now. Hey, guys, I'm enjoying Paris. What's going on? See you tomorrow in Oakland. Wow. So that's pretty cool, to say the least. I really like that. And, good for her. I saw that there was some company that gave her like a $22 million lifetime contract. I think it was for makeup or something, but she deserves every penny of it. All right, 1-800-878-PLAY. Last night, America had to sit and hope that Italy beat Mexico in baseball. That's one of the most ridiculous sentences I've ever said on a sports talk show. We had to wait to see if Italy would beat Mexico in baseball so that we could advance. But, or that the Mexicans scored at least 5 runs. This is like World Cup 78 stuff. If Austria beats Germany 1-0, then they both go through. And Germany's still the higher seed. Remember that game? If you don't know about it, Germany let Austria score. They're still friends from the Anschluss. And and by the way, that's not a dirty word. That just means an annexation. There's nothing Hitlerific in there, or Nazi, or anti-Semitic. It just means the annexation, the Anschluss. So they let Austria score, and then they passed the ball about the park. They kept it on the floor while the other nations are like, try. And they're like, we're trying. Well, Italy destroyed Mexico. Vinny Pasquantino had 3 homers after going 0 for 12 in the first 3 games. No one's ever hit 3 home runs in the WBC in a game. And that 9-1 victory meant Mexico is out, and that means that USA goes on, and they will play Canada tomorrow night in the quarterfinals. Single elimination begins. And Aaron Nola, Phillies veteran, 5 shutout innings. Remember, it's a 65 pitch limit. He still got through 5 with that. And Italy, which is basically all Americans, they put, this is a really good tweet, they put Vini, Vidi, Vici. It should be Vini, Vidi, Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. By the way, one of my favorites is, and Roma had this on one of their jerseys, is just, you'll see it around Rome, is just SPQR, the Senate and the people of Rome. I bow down to Rome, and then I realized, should I not bow down to a dominating force? Anyway, the whole reason I was a history major is because of I, Claudius, which I saw when I was like in 5th grade. Mexico had some opportunities in the game to get back into it, but they kept squandering those chances. And yes, as I mentioned yesterday, DeRosa thought that they were already through. And he rested people. And then he was like, wait, we're 3-0. We're through. No. He went to Penn. He did not go to an Ivy League school. Maybe he got too many concussions when he was a quarterback. DeRosa is a forever giant. Dom, what do you think? Forever giant?
Oh, yeah, he's on my list of people for sure.
1 year, 2 years?
I don't remember, but no matter how long it wasn't very impressive.
One of my favorite Mark DeRosa moments was when he was on the Royals and the Japanese player there, who's like, I eat banana like monkey. Monkey never pull hamstring. That was Munenori Kawasaki. Thank you. Munenori Kawasaki. He goes, my name is Munenori Kawasaki. I am a Japanese. And then Mark was talking, and he goes, I can't follow that.
His other iconic one, I always eat 2 bananas. I never cramp. Monkeys don't cramp. They only eat bananas.
Right.
So I eat 2. I never cramp.
I just said that.
Didn't hear it.
I love it. I love like the sort of half hearing. It's like when I worked in TV, I'd be doing an A's or Giants game. It's like in the 8th inning, and I'm dead rolling the next show. I'm recording Sports Channel Light with Glenn Kuiper. I'm going into the automation. Somebody put in a late commercial on a 1-inch. I'm transferring it. Somebody comes in and is like, "Who's winning?" I have no idea. Aren't you the TD of the game? I go, let me look. 8-3 Reds. How can you not know the score? I go, because I'm working. All right, but Italy, of course, stunned the complacent Americans on Tuesday night, and so that's why we needed this to happen. And so it's going to be Logan Webb. He's announced. Now, the Canadians are no joke either. The Canadians won their group. And there's a little extra spice from the Olympics. And there was a little extra spice before that with Trump saying, you're going to be the 51st state. Canada doesn't have a very good PM. People are talking. Everyone says I'm the most handsome. That's what everyone says. I could have been a Major League Baseball player. My mom said I could have been a Major League Baseball player. Yeah, that's your mom. Can I tell you what moms say? I'll just tell you what moms say, just real quick. So I'm playing college football. My mom actually came out to a game, and after the game, she said, "You look really good in the uniform. The other players look dumpy." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks, Mom." So if you have a good mom, she'll try to say something nice. Now, if my mom had said, you could play in the NFL, I would have been like, yeah, Mom, you have no idea what you're talking about. That's ridiculous. So, I'll break it down. I'll break it down. I sound like Pee Wee Herman. I'll break it down. Do you have something to share with the rest of us, amazing Larry? Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. Sorry. But no, I'll break it down tomorrow. But the Canadians are no slouch either. And sometimes you need a little bit of a slap in the face to wake you up. This game will humble you. Well, especially baseball. When one of my favorite things to say about baseball, and it's true, to tell people who don't watch it or understand it or don't know anything about it, I guess that's the same as don't understand it, is that if you get 2 hits out of 10 at-bats, you're out of baseball. If you get 3 hits out of 10 at-bats, you're an all-star. What? 2 out of 10, get out of here. You suck. 3 out of 10, here's millions and millions of dollars for that 1 extra hit per 10 at-bats. That is just factual, and I'm here spitting facts. We'll take a quick break. Come on back. More spitting on Sports Byline.
message ring out that from this day forward, when you buy American, you buy the best. Handcrafted, something premium, something pure. For this is the very essence of what our servicemen and women gave their lives to protect, and by God, we shall not allow their sacrifice to be forgotten. It's time to show the world just how great American can be. And we will not wait for tomorrow to come. We will stand here, this moment, together, and we will start today. Don't ever forget how great it is to be American. America we need right now. American Premium Vodka. Celebrate responsibly.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. That's 800-915-9654.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busywork. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Look at me. Look at me. Don't look at anybody else. Don't look at the fat-ass losers or freaks. You look at me!
Rick Tittle will fight anyone listening to this.
All right, lines are open, 1-800-878-PLAY. Let's go to Chicago where we have John. John, is it snowing in Chicago?
It did yesterday, but it was like 36 degrees, so they were huge snowflakes, but they would melt basically by the time they hit the ground. But now it's sunny again, and Sunday was like 70, or maybe it was Monday was 70.
Wow, that's weird.
So it's chaotic March. So, okay, real quickly, and his bat's 200, and he's still getting millions of dollars to play in the league. I don't know how, but he's a 200 hitter. And I think Michael Conforto, actually, he got picked up by someone, didn't he?
I'm sure he did. Yeah. He's had some good years. There are guys who will hang around. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't think I ever called in about Kubiak. So I don't know. I guess if I called in like 10 years ago and said, hey, one day it's going to fall apart for the Raiders, but that's okay because they're going to hire a head coach who was the OC that just won the Super Bowl, and they're going to draft number 1 overall the quarterback who won the Heisman and the national championship. That's pretty good, without knowing the names. That's where the Raiders find themselves right now. And I kind of felt like, are you kind of punching on the decision of Kubiak? Because it kind of seems like you don't love it and you don't hate it. So however this turns out, you're sitting pretty.
Well, I hate the name. I hate his face. I want to punch his face, and that's mean because he didn't pick how he looks. But everybody who takes over the Raiders is a clown. And so odds are he's a clown. And then he'll go someplace else and be a genius again. So to say we've got the right guy means you haven't watched the Raiders for 30-plus years. But I will give him, as ladies would say, grace. I will give him some grace. And I will, as women say, let the universe decide. Sorry. Rick Tittle is so sexist. No, I'm just kidding. Just like thinking about how some of my friends talk. I will give him grace, and I will hope that he's an amazing coach. But odds are he's yet another failure.
Well, we'll see. I mean, is this going to be tied to how good or good Mendoza is or is not?
Probably.
And J.D. Sharp, okay, in one call he's saying the Raiders should trade him away and bring Carson Wentz. And then he's saying
not Carson
they
Wentz.
should draft
Carson Beck.
Yeah, so is he confusing the Carsons, or does he just love people named Carson?
No, he's saying draft Carson Beck in the second round and get trade down and get 2 defensive studs in the first round is what he's saying.
Okay, but on a previous call, I could have swore he said Carson Wentz. They should just sign Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I thought he said that too, and I asked him, did you say Carson Wentz? Because my heart stopped, and he said, no.
Okay, maybe he just misspoke.
Yeah,
then,
well, it's like
I
I said Carson Palmer when I meant Cole Palmer. It happens.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Because I was thinking this guy is way off. Yeah, I still don't know how I feel about Mendoza. I don't know if I'm excited for him as even Derek Carr. So I don't know how he's going to pan out, but I guess he's pretty much the only quarterback in there. I don't know. I wouldn't take a chance on Carr back. I don't know where he's getting that.
I think that guy is such a turkey. And I shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but every inch of him is tatted, and he spent his money on a Lambo. He just seems like a dumb jock to me.
Yeah, and if he gets drafted, I would bring him into camp. There's a lot of Georgia guys on the Raiders right now. I wouldn't mind bringing him into camp, but I don't think I would bet my future on him.
Well, you'd have to spend. I mean, he won't be around past the 3rd round.
Really?
No, I mean it would have to be like when the Redskins drafted RG3 and then later Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to do that.
Okay, so this Crosby thing, I mean, I guess it's good because whoever the Raiders were going to pick, he's still going to be available in the 3rd round, right? Like they weren't going to get anyone great in the 14th round because you knew they would pick 14. And the first thing out of the commentator's mouth would be, this is a stretch, and they could have got this guy late in the 2nd round, but they must really love him.
Right, or he's not in any draft mag. We have no highlights.
Or as John Gruden used to say, "Oh, he loves football. I talked to him, and he loves football." I'm like, "Oh, he loves football."
Yeah, you and I love football. Do you want to draft us?
Right. But I guess, Crosby was a big part of the team, and he was the face of the franchise. And, they keep getting rid of their big stars. I mean, Khalil Mack. And I guess Khalil Mack, we were able to draft, Josh Jacobs. I think it was probably the last Raider that was my favorite Raider. So, maybe they could have got someone good, but I don't know. And then all these names they're bringing in, I feel like the Raiders every year, they always bring in these great names, and they never seem to pan out. And I don't know what to think.
It's the Al curse, as they call it.
Yeah, and then the book's still out on Spy Tech. But do you think, is there anything to the point that maybe the players he drafted were okay, but because the head coach and the OC last year were out of sync.
Well, I
They
think
weren't
that's
used
true.
properly.
I think that's true about Aston Junti because he had no offensive line. So I give him a pass. I don't give Jack Besh a pass that he can't beat out some of the scrubs that were out there and the drops that he had as well. That's not on any coach. That's on him.
Right, because wasn't he supposed to be like a route and hands guy, but not a speed guy? And if he can't even catch it,
he should have been a 7th round pick, not 2nd.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like there's no excuse for the first 3 rounds. All those guys should be starters, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, especially on a terrible team. Well, they went out and they've signed and or traded for 7 starters. They still need I mean, Linderbaum was great. I'm a little bit worried about the right side of the line, but hopefully they address that in next month's draft.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's going to be exciting, and I'll probably go to a draft party here. There's like a Raiders bar, but it's just fun watching the draft because number 1 overall pick. That means they'll be talking about the Raiders
right
a lot, and that's fun.
Well, that's what we get. They can talk about the Raiders because the Raiders sucked for 9 months. So this is our quote unquote reward. Now they're talking about us.
Yeah, and this doesn't matter now because they don't have the pick. But I tried to look up a draft pick. Who are they going to pick at 14th? And so the one mock that I was able to find that had updated it, they're just taking a wide receiver.
They were going to take Jordan Tyson, or Omar Cooper, but they don't have 14 now. That's gone, so they can look in the second round now.
But do you really think would you have been okay with a wide receiver there?
If he was Larry Fitzgerald, yes. But I mean, they don't. They traded Jacoby Myers. What do they got? Tucker and Besh. Are you going to throw every pass to Bowers? I mean, if they really thought Jordan Tyson was going to be the next Amon-Ra St. Brown, then yeah, take him.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter now. It's academic because Baltimore's holding on to that pick.
Okay, so one more thing. Don't you think it's kind of a or I mean, me and you have maybe noticed this, but all their stars seem to want off the team. Like the Crosby was back channeling to get traded, and Josh Jacobs couldn't wait to get out of there.
Well, once
Amari
you
Cooper
realize,
just retired.
I think everybody, and I've talked to so many players, they deep down, especially when Al was around, deep down they wanted to play for the Kingpin. They wanted to play in the Coliseum and the Black Hole and put on the coolest uniform in the history of sports. But then after about either a month, a year, 2 years, they realize, oh, this is a toilet of an organization. And then all their friends are laughing, saying, we get this, we get that, we're going to the playoffs, you guys are done by Halloween. So yeah, and I don't blame a lot of them for wanting to get out.
Yeah, and that's ownership, right? I mean, you got to blame ownership for that.
Well, I mean, look, Mark on the surface, and I'll always hate Mark for moving the team. I'll always hate him for that. But he's tried to hire people and then write checks when they want them. It's just whether it was Reggie McKenzie or Ziegler or Telesco, whoever he hired, and all 3 of those guys came highly recommended, they all stunk. And so now he's going with Tom Brady's friend, Spytech. Like, why should I have any faith in this guy? But then again, I thought the hiring of Bob Myers, a former agent who looked like he was 12 years old to run the Warriors, I thought that was stupid, and I was wrong. So I hope I'm wrong again.
Oh, okay, wait. Did you put Telesco in that group? Because I thought he had a great draft.
Telesco had a great draft?
Didn't he? 2 years ago?
What, Bowers and who?
Yeah, I don't know. I got to look at
it. You got to look it up. He was not in the draft. No. But look, a third grader could have drafted Brock Bowers. You get paid for not making a mistake in the first round. So I'll give him that. He got Brock Bowers. He fell into our laps, and we're like, whoa, we can't pass on him. Kind of like when Rodgers fell in the Packers' laps or Crabtree fell in the Niners' laps. You're like, okay, we got to take him. But the thing you get paid for is being Bill Walsh and finding Pro Bowlers in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. That's where you got to be savvy.
Yeah. No, I remember a long time ago I was looking up like draft boards, and this one year the Redskins in like, I don't know, 82 or 83, like almost everyone they drafted in that one draft like was a Pro Bowler or Hall of Famer or something.
And that can set you up for a decade of success if you get that right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the Chiefs do a really good job of drafting. All
right, here's the draft. Dominic looked it up. Brock Bowers, 1st round. 2nd round, JPJ. Jury's out on him. 3rd round, Delmar Glaze, who does start. That's a guy I'd like to get rid of. 4th round, DeCamerion Richardson. 5th round, Tommy Eichenberg, who's on kick team. 6th round, Dylan Laube, who's lousy. And then I'm not going to judge him on those picks, but Trey Taylor and MJ Devonshire. So you can say that he drafted 3 starters. So, yes, that's not a disaster, but still, the results weren't there. And then the thing I will blame on Mark is hiring guys like Josh McDaniels and Pete Carroll. And we were so lame. Antonio Pierce, the biggest joke of all. I mean, those are the... Anyway, we can go on all day in our commiserations, but I got to run to a break. Thanks for the call, man.
Okay, Rick.
All right, that's John in Chicago, where yesterday it was snowing and today it's 70. Come on back for more global warming.
Strange ways coming today. I put $1 in my pocket and I threw it away. Been a long time since the federal dime made a jukebox sound like a mirror in my mind. Need to calm my worries, fix my thoughts, pull my hopes.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-401-5163. 800-401-5163. 800-401-5163. That's 800-401-5163.
Hello, Americans. It's Uncle Sam here. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS or state, don't worry. I've got important news that may help you negotiate a lower tax bill. In today's economy, the IRS has released a variety of new rules and is offering more flexible terms to help Americans looking to settle their IRS debt. If you apply today, we may be able to lift your wage garnishments and release a freeze on your bank assets or business. Our team of tax professionals can resolve your case and stop collection actions against you. Even if you've been audited or haven't filed a return in years, they can help. Call right now and find out if you qualify to settle your IRS debt for far less than what you owe. Pick up your phone right now and call us for a free $500 IRS tax review. Don't wait. Here's the number.
Call right now. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. Again, for the last time, that's 800-943-9215.
Special alert for consumers struggling to pay taxes. There are new tax regulations, not published yet. We have the inside track on your new tax savings. These programs are designed to help struggling taxpayers like you. The COVID relief programs are gone, but there are new programs to help struggling taxpayers, and we have the inside track. Call now, and we'll take you through these new programs. These taxpayer savings programs have never been available until now. Get out of tax trouble now. It doesn't take weeks. It can happen in one phone call. Call now and get the inside track to get rid of your tax problems.
Call the tax helpline now. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. That's 800-949-0039.
Please let this nightmare stop! Please, I'm begging you to stop!
Snap! Rick Tittle invented FUBU.
All right, thanks for that. So we got a third hour completely open for your calls, 1-800-878-PLAY. The quarterfinals in the WBC are set. As I mentioned, USA will play Canada tomorrow. And they're going to want revenge for that, okay, eh? And also, they hate our president. Get in line. The DR are going to play South Korea. These are some mouth-watering games. Did you see DR highlights against Venezuela with Soto and Tatis bat flips? I mean, it's really cool. They're like, well, Aaron Judge hits a home run and just runs. I'm like, well, that's not on him. That's just how Americans do it. Venezuela did make it, though. They're going to play Japan, 3-time champs, and then Italy. There they are, more Americans. They'll play Puerto Rico. These are some pretty good matchups. So I'm going to say, knock on wood, USA will move on and will play Japan in one semifinal, and then the DR will play. I think Puerto Rico is going to get by Italy. Rick, Italy's red hot. By the way, there have been more home runs hit in this WBC than any other WBC, and we just got to the knockout rounds. More to come. More to come of the show, too. Come on back.
I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning. The Wild West portion of the National Football League's offseason has arrived with the opening of free agency. The Las Vegas Raiders have made the biggest splash so far, making center Tyler Linderbaum the highest-paid interior lineman in NFL history and taking on several defensive players, including Max Crosby, who they expected to ship to Baltimore for draft picks, but a failed physical on Tuesday voided that deal. Super Bowl champion Seattle has begun the ritual of losing players as back Kenneth Walker heads to Kansas City, corner Rick Woolen signed with Philadelphia, and safety Kobe Bryant exits to Chicago. Tight end Isaiah Likely adds to the options for Giants quarterback Jackson Dart, who leads what could be a dangerous offense when fully healthy. The other team in New York, the Jets, have reunited with their 2013 first-round pick quarterback Geno Smith. Running back Tyler Algier moved from Bijan Robinson's shadow in Atlanta and signed with Arizona. With little cap room or better options available, the Falcons signed former Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, while the Dolphins moved on to Green Bay Packers quarterback Malik Willis. Future Hall of Fame wide receiver Mike Evans is leaving Tampa Bay after 12 years to go to San Francisco and try to secure his second Super Bowl ring. While Travis Kelsey announced he's coming back with the Chiefs, the fates of Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, and other high-profile players are yet to be determined. After overinflating the combine to making the draft a 3-day destination event and setting its hot stove period to a nuclear setting, the NFL has the opportunity to make headlines 365 days a year. And if it's not already, it's probably something that should be studied by university business and marketing students. And this year's madness has just begun. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Soccer season rolls on here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. This is Tyler Levine, host of First Touch, the premier weekly global soccer show across the entire Sports Byline broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our picks of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch on Sports Byline USA Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busy work. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call, or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Tittle knows his sports. I hate that guy. I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you for that. Hour 3 underway, all open lines. Dominic Jimenez, can I ask you a quick football trivia question now?
I'm ready.
So the Cardinals now have officially cut Kyler Murray. So that means just 3 of the 29 first-round quarterbacks drafted in the last decade, 10 to 19, still running with their team. So I'll put the question to you this way. There are 3 quarterbacks in the NFL who have been, when healthy, the starters for the last 8 years or more. Who are the 3?
Okay, Josh Allen.
Yes.
Was Lamar also there?
Yes.
And this is just for one team?
Yeah.
Mahomes.
All right. Boom, boom, boom. He got it. I was thinking Joe Burrow, but he hasn't been there that long. Very nicely done. You feel better now because the last one hurt you. That's good. You're only as good as your last match. I like that. I also like the Chinese national was arrested for stealing ants as well. Coming after a break, I got another trivia question I think that you are, I think you will like as well. But the lines are available at 1-800-878-PLAY, 1-800-878-7529. You can also email me, rick@sportsbyline.com. Go to Sports Byline, click Listen Live. You can hear the stream. On the Twitch stream chat, actually, I can't see the Yahoo stream chat since there's 1,000 people watching there. But I always get these messages to buy followers. And buying followers. Byline tried that at one point. But I did mention it to a guy years ago who does the same job as me, and he goes, "Really? How many do you get?" I think you get like 10,000 for $50. He goes, "That sounds pretty good." I'm like, "Nah, dude. That would be more humiliating than having 3 followers. 3 followers is humiliating, but 10,003, and they're all in Romania, would be worse." I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
Packages start at $29.99 a month. Sign agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. That's 800-918-6189. Do you have a book? Get it out of your mind and make it a real book with a free guide to book publishing. Trying to publish a book yourself can be complicated. It takes a lot of time. Time that you could spend writing your book or even more books. Do what you do best. We can do the rest. Thousands of authors across the nation have trusted our book publishing service. We have the connections to help you get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores nationwide. We can do it faster than you can on your own. Get your free guide to publishing. It's a free phone call. Remember, make this free call right now and learn how to turn your book into something real that people can buy. Get your free writer's guide. Call right now. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. That's 800-482-8399.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work. Real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful, genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome, he's a genius.
I am so excited to be back on the Rick Tittle Show.
Hour 3, free and clear for your calls. 1-800-878-PLAY. What's going on in your sporting world, y'all? Dominic, I have a doozy. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good that you took a deep breath and you are sitting down. All right, here we go. We'll try and count them. The New York Jets have Geno Smith back in town. He was their second-round pick back in 2013. In between Geno Smith, you know it's coming, 18 guys played quarterback for the Jets. How many of the 18? This is only because JD didn't show up. How many of the 18 can you name?
I was hoping you were going to ask me how many guys, and I was going to guess 23. I would have been close. Okay, Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Zach Wilson.
Yes.
Mark Sanchez.
No, he was before.
He was before. Mike White.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I got Mike White.
You got the two obvious ones, I think.
Sam Darnold.
Yes.
I think those are the three obvious ones, plus Mike White.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That's 5.
When in doubt, guess Ryan Fitzpatrick. While I'm at it, did Josh Johnson also suit up for them?
That's 6. He suited up for everybody.
Exactly. When in doubt, guess Josh Johnson, too. It's like if you're doing NBA, when in doubt, it's Jamal Crawford.
Right, or Jesse Orozco for your bullpen.
Right. I'm sure there's all kind. Did Dan Orlovsky?
No.
I'm sure there's all kinds of other guys that I probably should get, and I'm not going to get, but I'm going to pat myself on the back for 6.
You got a third. That's not bad. So, in order. Now, I know every guy on this list except the first one. After Geno Smith was Matt Sims.
Wow.
Do you know him?
Yeah, just another Nathan Peterman-style guy. He was there.
I don't remember Matt Sims. Michael Vick, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Bryce Petty, Josh McCown, Sam Darnold, Trevor Siemian, Luke Falk, Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, Mike White, Josh Johnson, Chris Streveler, Aaron Rodgers, Tim Boyle, Tyrod Taylor, Justin Fields, Brady Cook, and back with Geno Smith. I guess you probably should have got Justin Fields.
Yeah, considering it was literally last year.
Well, it just tells you how forgettable the Jets are. Now, as a Raider fan, I usually can't look at that list and laugh, but I kind of can here because at least we had Derek Carr for a long time. But before Derek Carr and pretty much after Derek Carr, it's been a list like that. Now, the Cleveland Browns, of course, have the ultimate list of quarterbacks that have, in their years of putridity. Is putridity a word? I'm going to go ahead and go with that. All right. Once again, I'm going to get to the whole Crosby coming back to the Raider thing. Oh, I'll get to it. But I'm just bouncing around here a little bit. JD didn't show up. Did you know, and I'm more of a hockey guy than you, I think we can agree. Did you know this rule? Because I didn't. It's like one of these rules like in Major League Baseball, the home team has the choice whether they want to hit first or second. but they always pick second because it's dumb to hit first, that you're guaranteed you're going to have to at bat at least 27 times. If you're the home team, you can see what the other team does, and then you can adjust to it. Maybe we only need to bunt for a run. The team at the top of the inning doesn't realize, oh, we might need 4, so we're not going to bunt. So this is why they just automatically, the home team hits second. So I found out last night that a official NHL rule is that if the referees don't show up, you still play. You pick 2 players, one from each team. One is the ref in one half, one is the ref in the other half. That is an official rule. Nobody cares. It's like these laws. In Wichita, you can't eat lunch on the back of a giraffe. It's like, what? Well, it's in the law book. And I was like, all right, well, that's definitely weird. The other thing is, and now this is a little bit more sad. Obviously, the United States and Israel are bombing Iran, and whether you're pro or against that, I'm not really interested because this is a sports talk show, and it does come into sports because the Iranian soccer team earned their way to the World Cup, which is the dream of any young soccer player of any gender on the face of the earth, is to make it to a World Cup. And the President of the United States said today, it starts off good and then it gets bad. President Trump said, quote, "The Iran national soccer team is welcome to the World Cup." And I thought, phew. But he goes on, comma, "but I really do not believe it's appropriate that they be there for their own life and safety." So you're saying the President of the United States is saying, yeah, you might get killed if you come over. That's basically what he's saying. For their own life, not lives, for their own life and safety. You're welcome, but if I was you, I wouldn't go. What is this, a party in a bad neighborhood? It's going to be a killer party, dude, but your windows are going to get smashed and you're going to get mugged and maybe worse. It's really not worth it. That is the biggest non-invitation I've ever seen. So the president, Gianni Infantino, who of course is Trump's puppet, I'd like an award saying most handsome. Yes, President Trump. FIFA is proud to announce here live in Geneva that Donald J. Trump, the 47th president of the United States, 47th president of the United States, and 45, is the most handsome person in the world. We'd also like to give him a BAFTA, an Oscar, and a Heisman Trophy as well. Anyway, Gianni Infantino said Iran are welcome to compete. Welcome to compete. That's like saying, am I invited? Well, you're welcome to come. That sounds like you won't kick me out. That doesn't sound like you want me to come. But an interview 2 nights ago from the Iranian Soccer Federation said, given that this corrupt government has assassinated our leader, under no circumstances do we have the appropriate conditions to participate in the World Cup. Our boys are not safe, and conditions for participation do not exist. Now, once again, whatever you think about it, the United States did assassinate Iran's leader. Now, they didn't send Lee Harvey Oswald with a gun, but they killed him. They assassinated him. That's a factual comment. So if Iran doesn't go, you can't make this stuff up. Do you know who FIFA says will go in their place? Iraq. They will go. What's President Trump going to say about them? Well, you'll be a little bit safer than the Iranians. It's just, the World Cup is already off to about 10 missteps. And hopefully we'll have an amazing final like Qatar, and everybody will forget about all the other stuff. Man, come on back.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money. And you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
Sometimes life changes, and the house you once loved becomes a burden. Too many repairs, too many memories, too much to handle on your own. If you'd like to sell your home fast, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline. We can help you sell your home as is. No cleaning, no showings, and there are absolutely no hidden fees or real estate commissions. We'll pay you a fair price for your home in cash. Whether you're downsizing, handling an estate, or just ready for peace of mind, call us. We'll help you walk away from your problem property in no time at all and get you the cash in your bank account with little hassles. If you'd like to sell your home fast, as is, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline.
Call Want to Sell Your Home now for a free quote to sell your home in any condition. Call 800-950-3143. 800-950-3143. That's 800-950-3143.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams. Your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. That's 800-399-6879.
Oh, there's a fight going on here between two Newcastle players. Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer are having a fight. Goodness me, what on earth is going on? I have never seen such a thing. Lee Bowyer and Kieran Dyer suddenly were at his throats.
Rick Tittle, you done broke my heart, but I still take you back. You hella fine.
Yeah, hella fine. Thank you for that. Welcome back to the show, and lines are available if you want to talk some sports at 1-800-878-PLAY. Rick Tittle with you, along with Earth. Whole world listening. So, the Max Crosby thing didn't happen, and Max Crosby on Twitter yesterday put out a little gif of a wrestler coming out of a fire, and he wrote, "Everything happens for a reason." I hate that term, but anyway. "Everything happens for a reason. Believe nothing you hear and half of what you see." I am a Raider. I am without an apostrophe. And then I'm back with an apostrophe. Run that SH asterisk T. So, Crosby posted a 13-minute video on social media that was goodbye to the Raiders. 13 minutes. I didn't watch it. No offense. I'd rather watch a Love Boat rerun in Spanish than 13 minutes of Max Crosby saying he's deleted that message, obviously, right? The discontent with the Raiders, the way they shut him down, the way they handled his knee injury, the trade chatter, and him last 3 years saying, maybe I'll leave, maybe I'll leave. Well, now it's all great. And he says he's all in, and the Raiders are super happy about it. Are they still shopping him? I don't know. But the defense with corner Terrence Johnson and you got Kwity Paye on the other side of Max. They never really had a guy on the other side. They thought they were getting Cleveland Farrell for that. Mike Mayock, Quay Walker, and Nakobe Dean at linebacker. And everyone is saying that Kirk Cousins is coming to town, that's going to be the guy they want to mentor Fernando Mendoza. I can think of worse guys. I mean, he is 37 years old, but I can still think of worse guys to bring in. Now, Eric DeCosta, the Ravens GM, we knew that he'd have to speak up at some point. The interesting thing about DeCosta is that both he and Spytek, the Raiders GM, shave their heads when they don't have to. It's a bad look for a white guy. I understand, like, I have a friend who says it's a preemptive strike. I don't want the male pattern baldness. I get it. I always want the guys, when you can see the stubble, that they would have a full head of hair, they just would rather be bald. Well, you don't have to shower as long, and you can put on any hat, and you're ready to go. Anyway, DeCosta finally spoke up yesterday. He said, we were really excited about adding Max, potentially adding Max to our team. I had already begun discussions with Spytek. Those discussions continued. We were really thinking that we're getting some traction. We did. As part of the normal trade process, there were a lot of different parts with the trade process. We've done a lot of trades. One of the key thing is you bring a player in and try to get as much information as you can. We were not able to complete the process of trading for the player based on our assessment of the situation. Now, is this true or is this just revisionism? In other words, he says, yeah, we were talking about a trade. We were thinking about it, but it didn't go down. Because the rest of the world thinks the trade was done and official and we shook on it, but we didn't sign anything yet because they were waiting for the fiscal. This makes it sound like, yeah, we were talking about it. Maybe potentially bringing Max in. Kind of excited about that. Oh, my gosh. That's like when Jim Harbaugh, we tried to get Peyton Manning to come in. He picked Denver, but we talked to him. You talked to him? No, I didn't. Alex Smith went to the Dolphins to talk to them. I never met Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning said that you flew out. No, never saw him. Can you imagine Harbaugh showing up to Peyton Manning and going, I'm not here right now? So Crosby was in Baltimore on Tuesday, and there was something uncomfortable in the original agreement, and he did have surgery on his meniscus. Can I tell you, I've had surgery on my meniscus twice, and I was up and running around in 3 months, and I'm not a professional athlete, and I don't have those type of doctors, and I don't have that type of physique, and I'm not that young. So that's not like saying he had an Achilles. It's a little bit different. Of course, Achilles Schmillies, look at Jason Tatum. What did he do? So 13 hours after getting out of that trade, they signed Trey Hendrickson, 4-year, $112 million. Now, yesterday, I didn't want to correct him because it doesn't do me any good except making people look bad. And I'd like to be corrected if I'm heinously wrong, but if I'm being and it just makes me look bad, I'd rather not. Because JD said, well, Trey Hendrickson's way better against the run than Crosby. I went over the fact that Crosby is 2 times better than Trey Hendrickson against the run. Trey Hendrickson is just a pass rusher. That Crosby had 122 tackles on running backs in the last 4 years, and Trey Hendrickson had 50. Crosby's way better against the run. But then again, it's hard to get sacks if you're trying to tackle running backs too. Or, as I always say, contain. And as a guy, I wasn't always just a safety. I did play corner. And when you have contain, if anybody gets around you, you can't make eye contact with your DC or your position coach. You had contain and you let that guy get around you. Your job, even if you have to lay down your body, is to turn that guy in towards your teammates. Because if you have contain and that guy gets around you, he has daylight, and it's a home run. A home run is a long football run. I know. We're limited in our vocabulary in America. Okay. So 13 days later, Tom Pelissero said he talked to, this is more GM and agent talk. Tom Pelissero, NFL Media, said he talked to a GM who said this is very much bull ass on Baltimore's part. And this whole thing about no one will trust them again. No one will feel comfortable with them again. When someone asked that about DaCosta, he said, my phone is still ringing. Exactly. DaCosta said, I've got a responsibility to the Ravens. I understand how people from a par would feel that way, but nobody's more upset about this than me. Gutted by it, actually. A big regret for me. Oh, shut up. We know you're responsible for the Ravens. Don't say you're gutted. DaCosta goes on, though. Quote, I don't really know what we could do differently than what we did. Again, it's a really, 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 really tough call. 4 reallys. There were moments yesterday when I honestly was speechless. Sitting in my chair in my office just thinking about the next step would be and trying to get as much information as possible. Meanwhile, his doctor, Neil Alatrash, said that he's on track and he's fine. So, now I saw this yesterday. I heard this on KMBR yesterday. I never knew this, but Dwayne Kuiper was on KMBR, and he said when he heard he got traded to the Giants, he did not want to go to San Francisco in 1981. He wanted to stay in Cleveland. And so he went out to San Francisco, and Tom Haller was the GM, and he said there was a doctor, because he wanted to flunk his physical. He said there was a doctor who won't be named who said, if you do this, this, and this, I guarantee you'll flunk your physical. So Dwayne did those things, and he flunked the physical. And he's sitting in Tom Haller's office, and he thought, thank goodness I can go back to Cleveland. Remember, he's from Racine, Wisconsin, too far away. And that's all he had ever known were the Indians. And he said, Tom Haller called the Indians in front of me and said, we want him anyway. And he went, what? Now, it's all jokes now because Dwayne Kuiper went on to have an amazing time as a Giants player and then decades as a Giants broadcaster and bringing out his brother Jeff as a TV producer, his brother Glenn, who I worked with for many years in TV, ended up being a long-time broadcaster, TV broadcaster for the Oakland A's. And, he loves where he lives in San Ramon. And, but isn't that funny at the time? By the way, if I was a Giants fan, I mean, you could say, good call by Haller. Actually, I think that's stupid. The guy flunks the physical and you take him anyway. That's like when this guy, John Garamendi, was running for governor. It said when he was at Cal in the 50s, he broke his leg playing football and kept playing. That tells you what type of guy he is. And I remember my dad said, yeah, that means you're an idiot. I'm not impressed by that. You're a moron. You broke your leg and you kept playing? I'm not voting for you. All right, come on back. We're talking sports.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total recoveries for his clients. And now with sportsbettingclaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted in the recovery of billions for individuals who lost their properties to fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulate consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let's fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
Okay, let's have a little fun. Do you use the expensive blue pill to perform better? Are you thinking about it? So what if we can promise you results for less than $1 a pill? Okay, so these same pills can cost you $30 or more at a pharmacy. And our Better Blue Pill works for less than $1 a pill. You'll save $29 or more per pill. And right now, we'll give you 120 blue pills for just $99. Have a little fun and call right now. Get 120 of our Better Blue Pills for just $99. Don't overpay for the other blue pills. Call Steel Man Pills right now and get the Better Blue Pill for less than $1 a pill. Call 1-800-BUY-BLUE, 1-800-BUY-BLUE. It's easy to remember. 1-800-BUY-BLUE. That's 1-800-BUYBLUE. And thanks for calling.
You know, like kickboxing, that's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me, mirror, what is wrong? Can it be my daylight clothes or is it just my daylight song? What I do ain't make-believe. People say I sit and try, but when it comes to being daylight, it's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I.
Rick Tittle can usually be found at He Baby Mama House.
Thanks for that. Welcome back to the show. Lines are available at 1-800-878-PLAY. Dominic, you have trivia.
Since you mentioned it earlier, the Raiders, since 2010, have had 18 quarterbacks, very similar to the Jets.
Wow.
There was 7 before Derek Carr. I'll give you one, E.J. Manuel during Derek Carr's tenure, and then another 9 after. Can you name the 16 quarterbacks?
So the 7 before?
Yeah, so from 2010 to 2013, there were 7 quarterbacks.
Well, I'm trying to think
From 2022, when Derek Carr last started 15 games, until present, there's been 9.
All right, let me just, in no particular order, because I can think about the Aaron Brooks and David Hollis's and Marquez Tuiasosopo. Those were all way too old. So there's AOC, there's Minshew, There's Pickett. There's Stidham. There's what was the name of that dope? There was Glennon. There was Schaub, although he didn't take a snap.
So Glennon actually is not on the list. He did not start a game.
Start. Sorry, start. McCarron. No, he didn't start.
I'm sorry. Did you say Geno Smith already?
No.
Well, there's another one. Just because I can't hear you when my mic's on, so I was just making sure you didn't mumble Geno while I couldn't hear you.
No. Geno Smith. Ouch. Let's see. AOC.
We got 3 more post-Derek Carr guys.
Yeah. The pre-Carr ones aren't... I'm trying to put them out of my mind.
You want me to give you one so you can start from there in terms of timing in your brain?
All right. Who's the first one?
Jason Campbell.
Okay, so Jason Campbell, then Carson Palmer.
Yep.
Who I mentioned earlier. Carson Palmer. Kowski.
Yep.
Jamarcus Russell.
No, Russell was before Campbell.
Okay. He was in camp with Campbell. I guess he didn't. That was it. Gradkowski. Oh, Charlie Fry.
He was 2009,
just before. Boy, what a parade of morons and clowns.
Yet 4 more guys before.
Gradkowski. Right, you know what? This is painful. I mean, if you gave me all day, maybe I could get it, but we're running a show here, and the audience is dying.
Fair enough. Kyle Bowler, Terrell Pryor, Matt McGloin, and Matt Flynn.
Wow, TP I should have had. Oh, wait. Connor Cook.
No.
That was he started a playoff game, but I guess that doesn't count.
I guess this is a regular season list. The post-Derek Carr guys, Brian Hoyer for 1 game, Desmond Ritter for a game, and Jimmy Garoppolo for 6.
I should have had Garoppolo. All right. Thank you for that. This was just like showing a film of all your mistakes. 1-800-878-PLAY. I did want to bring because I remember when this dude I knew in college. He was a friend of a friend, and he said that he played football for Florida State, and I was like, oh wow, Bobby Bowden, ACC, that's big time. He went, yep. I go, what position? He's like, oh, the defensive back. I go, oh, yeah, I'm a defensive back right now at St. Mary's. He's like, oh, wow, cool. I go, so who's the defensive coordinator? He goes, I played clubs. I wasn't really on the team. I went, But then my other friend told me that the guy said that he had an athletic scholarship to Army. And I was like, there's no such thing. Everybody that goes to the academies is on scholarship. They don't give the athletic scholarship. So that was a little bit of a liar, but I bring it up because this isn't back in the day of Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside, of Davis and Blanchard. These academies are not preparing you for sports. They're preparing you to defend our nation militarily. But we've had some pretty good football teams of late, which is nice. And I think not blue chip, but pretty good football players think maybe I will go there. Like the Navy quarterback Horvath, he could have played at other places. But what about Navy basketball? When I think of Navy basketball, I think of David Robinson, and then I'm done thinking. Okay? That's about it. But what they're doing this year is pretty crazy. And the head basketball coach there, Perry, said, I talked to them about the law of Mount Everest. Every game's a little bit higher on the climb. Every game gets a little bit harder. Now they're at the point of base camp 4. It's the death zone, and that's the Patriot League Conference Tournament. So you lose or you go home. And the hardest part on the climb to Everest is getting there to finishing, getting to the top. All right. Well, they said as challenge escalates, the teamwork elevates. That's another little catchphrase. And it's pretty amazing what Navy has done this year. It's their best season since David Robinson, the Admiral, was there. This is all under the direction of this first-year head coach. And meanwhile, none of them are preparing for the NBA. They're preparing to be, whatever, a bosun, a gunner's mate, run the con on a nuclear aircraft carrier, right? So, head coach said, quote, you've got to be able to focus on what's important. And for these guys, it's their academics, it's their military obligations, and then basketball is third. And they know that if they're not doing well academically or militarily, then they're going to take basketball away from them. And basketball is the only fun part of their day. Well, beginning of this year, Navy had one Patriot League regular season title in 1997. It has not been to March Madness this century, 1998. And the service academies in basketball, Army is one of 3 teams to have never gone to March Madness, despite being eligible since 1939. Air Force went to March Madness in 2006. Since that time, in the past two seasons, 7-54, and they fired their coach. So Navy and the other academy, but Navy, like the other ones, do not offer NIL, name, image, likeness. And they're not allowed to bring in transfers either. And by the way, this guy, Perry, we have a statue that a lot of probably San Franciscans don't know about. In Union Square here, to Admiral Perry. He's like our Lord Nelson Trafalgar column, who went into Manila Bay and defeated the Spanish fleet, 1899 Spanish-American War. That, if you look at the top of the column, that's Perry. So John Perry, the first-year coach, it's a good Navy name. He said, quote, because of the mission of the school and the shared experiences here, they bond, they connect. There's a larger purpose here, and I think that translating carries over into the locker room and onto the court. The older we get, the better we get, because we're able to retain our guys, and they're playing for the name on the front. Now, when I think of Army basketball, I think of Coach K playing for his coach, Bobby Knight. That's what I think of with Army basketball, and then I'm done there. So, in a world where these rosters are deconstructed and reconstructed and one-and-dones every year, Navy has 81% continuity. So the other team above 60% is Harvard at 65%. The national average is 25%. So the captain of the team at Navy is named Mike Woods. I should say midshipman first class Mike Woods. It starts with talent, he said. We have good players, And it's not just that our players are old. We're really talented as well. But I think that helps with holding guys accountable, too. Now, they do have the Patriot League Player of the Year, a guy named Austin Benigni. Roberto Benigni. Life is beautiful. They have another forward named Donovan Draper, who averages basically a double-double. Their center is Aiden Keogh, 6'11". Now, he had to get a waiver for that because I know there are height limitations. I know the Air Force Academy won't take you at that height because you can't fit in a damn plane. So, anyway, the midship, the middies, the mids, 25-6, 17-1 in the Patriot League. The 25 wins are the most ever for a team that didn't include David Robinson. And 17-1 is the best record by any Patriot League team since they expanded to where they are now. And you think about they mashed Lehigh by 23. They beat Army by 18. They beat Loyola Maryland by 27. They beat Colgate by 16. Now, these are all small schools, not even mid-majors, because it's the Patriot League. But it's just a really cool thing for a team with no NIL, no transfers, no blue-chip guys. You know, we've seen some pretty good stories. Miami of Ohio and Cal State East Bay is the only undefeated Division II team. Cal State Hayward. I played football against Cal State Hayward, and I remember they beat the hell out of us. They had some great players up Carlos B. Avenue. But anyway, I just want to bring it up. I wanted to give a shout-out to Navy. I am a Navy fan, after all. And going to the Army-Navy games over the years has made me even more of a Navy fan. Let's take a break. We'll come on back on Sports Byline.
Keep listening for details on how to get up to $300 airline credit. Sky Holidays introduces a one-of-a-kind air credit program. Our buying team got a little too aggressive in getting hotel and air deals, so now we have to liquidate our prices. Here's how. Whether you want to go to Paris, Las Vegas, London, Atlanta, Hawaii, or anywhere else in the world, we have amazing deals. Book a selected hotel and we'll give you up to $300 airline credit. Now you can book your vacation and get free credit to use towards airline travel. We'll book both, airline and hotel, with one simple phone call. We have access to most airlines and deals on thousands and thousands of places to stay. Call right now, book your hotel rooms, claim your airline credit. You can change or modify it at any time. 800-256-4816. 800-256-4816. That's 800-256-4816.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There's someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total recoveries for his clients. And now with sportsbettingclaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted in the recovery of billions for individuals who lost their properties to fire, carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
If you're serious about investing in gold or silver, Allegiance Gold will give you an additional $5,000 in free gold to add to your portfolio. They can help you buy any amount of gold or silver, even roll over your current IRA into gold. They've helped thousands invest millions in gold over the years, with prices that are some of the best in the industry, with fees that are fair, reasonable, and transparent. Protect your wealth with gold. Save on your gold or silver pricing when you buy from the top-rated Allegiance Gold. Invest in gold or silver today by calling Allegiance for your free gold guide. And learn about the $5,000 free gold offer with qualified purchase. Call now.
800-413-1937. 800-413-1937. 800-413-1937. That's 800-413-1937.
Resistors to mind reprogramming will be exterminated for the good of the state. What kind of government you guys got here? This is worse than California.
This is the only sports talk show that features a Rhodes Scholar, but he ain't here today. Now, back to Rick Tittle.
All right, thanks for that. And a little breaking news here. Team USA taking on Canada tomorrow night. They've made 3 roster changes. Skubal is out. He wasn't going to pitch again anyway. Michael Wacha of the Royals and Ryan Yarborough of the Yankees, 2 other pitchers, are inactive. They're out of the bullpen now. So in comes Will Vest of the Tigers, Tyler Rogers, forever Giant, with the Blue Jays, and Tim Hill of the Yankees. So if you think about guys who came out of the bullpen and who weren't great lately, like Clay Holmes and Matthew Boyd, also say that Clayton Kershaw will be replaced after the next game. Well, you have to win the next. Why don't you just replace him anyway? Joe Ryan, the Twins starter, is supposed to take his job. Maybe it's a thing that they can't do until they get to the semis. But, Tarek Skubal said, I think the only way I'll be at peace with this is in Miami celebrating after we win the whole effing thing. That'll give me some peace. Well, I'm sure he'll still be with the team, but he's not going to be in the dugout wearing a uniform. So Logan Webb, as I said, is waiting. And if they win, Paul Skeens will go against the DR or Korea. That means if the USA makes it to the final, Nolan McLean.
I know my random baseball players by playing fantasy baseball. I still don't know who that guy is at all.
We'll end on that little nugget. I'm Rick Tittle. We will